My name is Nancy Gale Fox. I'm a prophet communicator for God and Jesus Christ. I started communicating for them 20 years ago as my next door neighbor I grew up next door to, who was like a second mother, a Catholic woman who went to St. Francis Church, contacted me when I was asleep after she died and communicated to me she would protect my girls and I. And when I woke up the next day, I said, I guess she's our guardian angel, and I wonder what we need protecting from. And then a woman who did angel board channeling readings told me she spelled out on her angel board that she died and had to speak to Nancy Fox. And I bumped into this woman 3 times in our suburb area, and then two times there, and then all the way in Westwood, 45 minutes away from where we lived. And the elevator opened. There she stood, and I said, "Okay, I got the message. I'll come and do an angel board reading with you." As I knew it was God's will, our paths kept crossing. It was spelled out on the angel board: Nancy Fox, you're put on earth to do goodwill and to save the human race. And she said, well, you better buy an angel board and get to work. And that's what she said. And so I bought an angel board shortly after buying a house with a spiritual ambiance where church bells rang every hour during the day, as I'd shopped for a house for 4 years for my family, to have a one-story for my mother to live with my 2 daughters and I in the same area in the suburbs where we had lived 8 years at that time in 2005. And I found the perfect house where church bells chimed every hour that felt so spiritual. And every night at 10, I started channeling on the angel board I bought on the Angel Board Alliance network by a white candlelight, and I started spelling out many sentences, paragraphs, pages by God and Jesus Christ. So I did this each night starting at 10 p.m. and spelled things out like a lot of big angel board jobs and money is coming, spelled out the Brinks truck is coming, and later it spelled the word voyeurism, which means a peeping Tom. And my prophet readings I have done for 20 years have spelled out that human trafficking is done by voyeurists on spy cam hacking, bugging equipment, and security cameras. Now, after moving in the house, the mailbox was smashed on the ground twice. Stalkers swarmed around it. Our cats went missing when stalkers were there. There was a car break-in, property stolen, and you name it. So the predators were all over, and readings say they stole my questions sent for me to answer by God and Jesus Christ, and money sent out of the mailbox on a post they stalked and broke on the ground twice. So that is called, they are called gang stalkers, and gang stalkers commit crimes against individuals that they target. Now, my readings have said 1,000,000 times over that they stole my prophet jobs, my questions for me to answer by God and Jesus on my angel board, and that they lie they're doing a Save Life mission, and they lie my job titles they stole are theirs, and they lie they save life by spy cam hacking, bugging equipment, and security cameras, and by their secret court when they are the ones committing the crimes. So they did not want me reporting God and Jesus Christ's words to report them the criminals. And so that's kind of complicated, but I've been piecing together facts with my prophet work for 20 years to to for everyone to know how human sex trafficking is run. As in 2009, I became an open vessel medium with the ability to write for God and Jesus Christ on paper by hand. And that's what I did in '09. And they wrote that investigators who pretend they're investigating are really human sex trafficking. They are really pretending to investigate and framing people. And my readings have said they loop security camera and spy cam, or rather, they loop bugging with an AI, artificial intelligence, voice mimicker. They loop bugging to frame people. They edit spy cam and security camera footage. They Photoshop, copy paste, do fraud, and they are an organized crime ring, really, on spy cam hacking, bugging equipment, and security cameras who frame targeted individuals for human sex trafficking. And they do fraud reports and to authorities to fool them, so they think the people they're targeting are another type of person. So I saw stalkers with my eyes. I saw a locksmith truck with my eyes. And I saw our cats went missing Labor Day '08. I saw the mailbox stalked and smashed on the ground twice. And so I do a lot of readings on what are gang stalkers doing and what is their system they're using to trick everybody. And they're very dangerous. And my readings say they steal clothes from targeted mothers' houses and they put fake outfits together to frame them to look like another type of person. My reading says they use a floozy frame-up formula. So they loop bugging and change words they say with the AI voice mimicker, and then they put outfits together they never wore, and they frame nice parents to their CPS secret court. And that is for packs of them to show up who do medical kidnaps in nurse dresses, lab coats, and scrubs. And there's a lot of talk on the internet to stop medical kidnaps, stop the CPS secret court, and to not take any children from any parents. As, of course, some are dangerous. Those would be ones with a weapon or dealing drugs on their coffee table, or where their children could die at their hands. Now, those children, well, there shouldn't be any child protective services caseworkers. The real police would arrest a parent who might murder their children, is the point. So they don't need caseworkers whisking people away, as they are whisking them away to kiddie porn sets and for human trafficking, as the Antichrist is running a CPS secret court. And that is a family who pretends they're investigators. They pretend they're CPS DCFS caseworkers. They pretend they're male medics on a medical observation unit covering in vans. Then they have many nurses that are child molesters who sit around in nurse dresses in vehicles. And my readings say they do nurse porn in their cars on their cell phone. Then they show up and surround children and parents at parks and force speedball meth heroin shots in them and whisk them away to a kiddie porn set in their apartment and houses that they say are their computer technician apartments. And they lie, they take them to color and play. No, they take them and molest them in a kiddie porn movie with a tripod camera in their empty living room and bedroom. So the ones who pretend they're protecting children are the ones molesting and trafficking children. And my reading says the ones who pretend they're investigators traffic them at age 10 and over, and they have them in their backyards in a room they built under their lawn. And my readings have said it 1,000,000 times over, and everybody says, oh, they're fine. Oh, that's Ronnie Levin's ring. Oh, that's Rena, the CPS secret court worker. Oh, they're covering everybody for well-being and safety. No, they're covering for slavery, sex slavery, human trafficking, with their secret tricks they use. Half their time is spent manipulating authorities, so they think they're taking people to help them. They are taking them to human traffic them. And that's very sad. And that's what God and Jesus have reported through my hands since '09, as I started writing for them, as I said, by hand in '09. Then I started my fast channel prophet typing early 2010. I type for them day in and day out to stop human sex trafficking, to stop child molesting, to stop kiddie porn and snuff movies. As they lie, they are taking children to protect them by framing their parents. Their parents are good people. The parents are not child endangering. The ones who pretend they are protecting children are the ones who are child endangering, because they are the Antichrist, who have reversed everything, who do everything backwards. And my readings say they change my prophet work and do copycatting prophet plagiarism as false prophets, and change the crime tips. And they would change them and write, they took children to save them. They took the people to safety. When no, they took them to slavery. And so they reverse everything, as they are the devil doing everything backwards to fool the real government system and the authorities. They are trafficking through the court system and through government agencies by their fraud reports. And my reading says there are 90 women who are child molester, human trafficker, serial killers, and that they do dead child, dead corpse traffic, and they murder children and then put them on dry ice, 99.9% dead, to rape them across the country by necrophiliacs. Hard to fathom. A bunch of women in nurse uniforms and scrubs with stethoscopes who look nice are serial killers. And the readings say it every day. And they are not caught because they are con artists, because they are meth, heroin, drug addicts, as the Antichrist is controlling their kiddie porn sex torture ring, who murder victims in their movies on tripod cameras in their empty living rooms that they say are their city hall computer technician apartment residences, local residences. They are trained to fool people. They are trained to call all over the country, why, yes, indeed, yes, ma'am, no, sir, and lie, they're really good kids from the burbs helping, and they are trained to fool everybody, to get children and kids to their apartments to molest and murder them, because they get shot up with many shots of methamphetamine drugs before the kiddie porn movies. Then they get shot up with heroin after the film is finished and the kids are dead. So there are 90 of them in packs in new vehicles in nurse uniforms, my readings say every day. Nurse dresses, scrubs, and lab coats, and stethoscopes and clipboards, and they do medical kidnaps. They pretend they are taking people to help them. No, they are not. They pretend they need to take children from their parents at a park or a mall or wherever they are, in a parking lot or bank or drugstore, market. Reading says they see them in security cameras, and they frame them by running their license plates. So they sit around scouting for attractive families to molest, traffic, and murder them. And they run the plates. Then they do a big frame up on the mother and a fraud report. Then they'll surround the family with fraud papers on clipboards and forms they say they scribble words on. Then a whole pack of them, like 19 women in nurse outfits, will show up, force speedball meth heroin shots in every age family member, and tell authorities and everyone else, we're taking this family to help them out. We're taking the children to our City Hall computer technician local work apartment building to color and play. No, they are doing no such thing. They are ripping their clothes off, knocking them on the floor, tying them down with shipping straps and bungee cords around their ankles, and dog muzzles and dental floss on their mouth so they can't cry for help. Then they are molesting them and filming it on a tripod camera in their empty living room, as they this and that they this is a kiddie porn snuff movie business also. And when children are molested, they're murdered because they don't want children reporting they were molested. And so they also do female genital mutilation. They have razor blades and bungee cords in the trunk of their new vehicles, my readings say. They always have a 10-year-old with them in their vehicles. They molest and film on their cell phones the kiddie porn movies parked in nurse uniforms, readings say, every day. And they are murderers with a mask on, who fool people and do medical kidnaps. And that is they are also called gang stalkers on spy cam hacking, bugging equipment, and security cameras. And readings say they have no pubic hair, they don't wear underwear, they sit around doing nurse porn in their car, filming it on their cell phones, drinking peppermint schnapps, alcohol. And nobody ever searches them because they are told they work for the CPS DCFS secret court. They work for 11 Brothers Incorporated investigators who do in-home investigations. Well, they're all murderers. They're all criminals. They're human traffickers who pretend they're doing a job to save life on earth, who pretend that they take people to help them when they take them to kill them. And so nobody searches them, my readings say, and somebody needs to search them to do a urine test on them to see they have meth, heroin, and alcohol in their system, to see they are driving drunk, to see they have open alcohol in their vehicles, to see they have female genital mutilation tools in their trunks, razor blades and bungee cords. As readings say, they cut off genitals off the victims. Half the victims they take that they call batches of people. They take a family from a park by fraud papers on clipboards, by frame-ups they do, by running license plates, by shooting them all up with meth, heroin shots. And they lie it's a really relaxing shot when it's a speedball street drug shot. And they even murder babies just by the shot. They kill newborns also, as the nurses, fake nurses, are addicted to eating genitals on meth. Then they get shot up with heroin. Okay? The Antichrist is controlling them by drugs to murder victims. So they are in a drunken meth euphoria, committing all these crimes. And God and Jesus have written this by my hands 1,000,000 times for 16 years. And I started getting tips on my angel board, as I said. And that was the word voyeurism. That means a peeping Tom on a spy cam. And then I got the tip that there are 2 or more lied son of Satan conspiracy who take people to sex slavery by lying. My angel board spelled that out 1,000,000 times over. And that is the gist of it. They are a 2 or more lied son of Satan conspiracy who take people to sex slavery by lying. So they take children from good, nice parents who are not child endangering, and they take them and rape and murder and molest them. And my reading says they torture them in medical apparatus rooms with gynecological chairs and child baby pelvic exam stands. And they tell authorities they're taking families for medical exams in their medical exam rooms. So they think nurses who look like nice suburb all-American women are taking little children for a nice medical exam after a relaxing shot with their mother, who they framed in papers, when no, they're taking them to restrain them in the medical equipment, to sex torture and murder them in a snuff movie, and then to pack them for dead corpse, dead child traffic, for necrophiliacs, to rape their lifeless body across the country. And that's what they are doing. That is the Antichrist's trick. Everything is reversed. They say they're nice nurses. They are serial killer, child molester, sex torture addict, clitoral cutter, meth heroin junkie, sex addict, drunk driving alcoholics. Liars is what they are. They are not nice. And nobody is seen past them, reading says, because they are trained to act like goody two-shoe girls, like nice young women from the suburb outskirts who are helping. And reading says that's how they talk. And they are very dangerous criminals. So God and Jesus are channeling this with me to say it is a 6'8" serial killer running his Antichrist sex torturing operation. And he is 6'8", and he pretends he's doing in-home investigations on families all over the country when he is doing no such thing. He is one who will scout out for an attractive family. He targets mothers who filed for a divorce, single mothers, and unwed mothers and unwed couples, unwed moms and dads, divorced single moms. That's who they target. And then they see, is the mother attractive? Are the children attractive for human trafficking? Then he lies. He has to do a preliminary investigation on these families. Then they put bugging on their porch and a spy cam and 2 spy cams in the house over doorways and facing out, reading say, and they lie. They're doing a preliminary investigation to see if they need to do an in-home investigation on this looky here little old me family. That's how they talk, like old-fashioned language. And Reedy says they always say looky here and lookity look and things like this to act corny. So they don't know that they are very dangerous, sick criminals. And anyway, so they say they're doing a preliminary investigation to see if they have to do a full in-home investigation. When no, they don't. They're very nice families who would never be investigated. And so they get the bugging from the porch. Then the CPS, DCFS, fake caseworkers who have those job child titles to molest and traffic children and every age person in a family, those are his relatives, women, fake caseworkers who pretend they're protecting children. They loop the bugging from the porch from the so-called preliminary investigation. So if a family says, oh, I love you, they would change the word to hate by artificial intelligence voice mimicker. And if they said, oh, you look good in that outfit, they would change the word to bad. And Reedy says they just sit on the back of an SUV tailgate looping words all night and day to frame families by porch bugging. And then they have the gals on patrol, gang stalkers, who stalk properties, 5 women an hour, and 5 shifts a day. And my reading says they write fraud notes, and they are trained to describe things wrong about what mothers wear and where they go. So they write fraud notes and about their clothes as they do the floozy frame-up formula and describe nice mothers to look like they're dressed too sexy to be a nice mom when they are not. And reading says they steal clothes from houses. Then they would put a shirt they wore under a blouse or under a jacket or sweater. They would put a shirt, an undertop on a board, take a photo, and say, look at the sexy top this mom wore. Well, no, they did not wear it alone. They wore it under a sweater or jacket. So they frame them with their clothes by displaying fake outfits they never wore, by their garments they steal from their houses, by their fraud notes they write when they gang stalk houses. And then the the fake caseworkers stand in a booth in a garage and of one of their properties they bought with stolen funds, and they read the report recorded on their cell phone, the looped report that they looped with an AI, artificial intelligence voice mimicker machine. So everybody knows about AI, and that's what they do to parents' voices to frame them, and children's voices, God and Jesus say. So they do a fake report in a booth they get. My reading says like the size of a phone booth with a podium in it where they stand and record the fake looped recording. Okay? And they call that the CPS secret court. That is their frame up report. Their frame up booth is what it is. Then they have the nurses who sit around no underwear pubic hair doing nurse porn in their new vehicles. They have them type the fake recorded report. So they type it, then they'll send it all over to authorities, readings say, and say, here's a report on all these mothers. Here's reports on them from the CPS DCFS secret court and from the in-home investigator men and women, when it's all fake and it's all opposite of who they really are. And that's how they fool authorities. Reedy says they send reports all over town and pictures of outfits they never wore, that they to do frame-ups and say, see what the mom wore. Look at our reports, see, and things like this. That's how they talk, readings say. And so that's how they frame nice, good parents and fool authorities, is that is the name of their game. The name of their game is to sit around doing looping, photoshopping, editing spy cam and security camera footage to frame people. That is what they do. They frame people so they look like they are someone else. And so then they say, now we need to do a further investigation based on our preliminary investigation, based on our bugging on the porch. It's all looped. They're very nice parents who would say, I love you, sweetheart. You look beautiful in your outfit you're wearing to school, and have a nice day. And they're very nice people. They reverse the words they say to make them look like someone else. To lie, they have to do a full in-home investigation on the families, when no, they don't. So they put spy cams in children's bedrooms, bathrooms, parents' bedrooms and bathrooms. Then they do peeping Tom and see who do they want to use in their kiddie porn movies. Who do they want to human sex traffic? What mothers and teenagers have a good body who are attractive for human trafficking? What children do they want to use for dead child trafficking? Which sons do they want to put in a dog cage for their kiddie porn movies? And that's what they sit around doing when they pretend they're doing an in-home investigation, when no, they are doing no such thing. And my readings say that the relatives of the 6'8" fake investigator, the relative of the CPS DCFS secret court workers, the men go in and they say they're servicemen who install spy cam, hacking, bugging equipment in the homes they're doing in-home investigations in, when they are framing people to murder them, to human sex traffic them, when they're investigating nothing. So they go in, reading say, and put bugging equipment under coffee tables, desks, on clothes, spy cams on ceilings over beds, spy cams in shower heads, toilets, mirrors. Then they do spy cam peeping Tom on mothers, getting dressed and undressed, showering, and exploit them all over for human trafficking. And my readings say they do this on children, like getting dressed for gymnastics in the thong underwear or something like that. They would do spy cam peeping Tom on a teenager in their gymnastics thong underpants and message it all over and say, see how sexy they look, and do peeping Tom on teenagers showering in shower heads, mirrors in the bathroom. So they target people with a good body who are attractive, and that's what they do, readings say, 1,000,000 times over. And they have spy cams and smoke detectors and shower heads, as said, bathroom walls. So they exploit people with the equipment. They lie they're doing an in-home investigation with. So the dangerous ones who are child endangering are the ones on the spy cam equipment pretending they're doing an in-home investigation on a family when they are doing no such thing. And I've explained it 1,000,000 times over, as they are doing this in 9 states, as they do much in the devil number 9. 9 states: California, Nevada, Arizona, Wickenburg, Tucson, Arizona, Provo, Utah, Colorado, all around Denver, Hayesville, Asheville, North Carolina, to the Tennessee border, Chattanooga, Cincinnati, Ohio, South Dakota, New York State, upstate New York City, and around it. Those are the states my readings name every day where these devils lurk. And they do much in a 9. And reading says there are 9 in the family, 6'8" serial killer running it, who pretends he's the in-home investigator. And reading said anybody tries to get search one of the 90 women as the devil number 9. 5 or 9 in a vehicle, or 9 in a 10 SUVs and vans and Suburbans. 90 women who are child molesters, serial killers, sitting drinking peppermint schnapps, no underwear, no pubic hair, doing nurse porn on their phone, who are on meth and heroin and driving drunk. Okay. They say they're protecting families. No, they are murdering families. They are stalking to kill people by medical kidnaps. And reading says there are 90 of them in a group, and they have 5 City Hall computer technician local work apartment buildings on 9 streets in a neighborhood. Devil number 9. The men have 9 houses around main parks where they have trafficked victims in rooms they built under their lawns, front and backyard, and under the house. Okay? They lie there. They're investigator houses. They are their human sex traffic houses. 9 houses around parks. And there's 9 men who are relatives, and they rape the victims very badly, says God and Jesus Christ, as this is a human sex torture operation. They torture the most innocent people they can find of every age. That's the name of their game. And they do much in a 9. So that's 5 apartment buildings on 9 streets near each other, in 9 areas of the San Fernando Valley and surrounding valleys, and in 9 states. Hard to fathom. Murderers are under everybody's noses in rooftop apartment buildings where they yell yoo-hoo from the rooftop patio so people think they're nice when they are not. They are murdering children right in their living room that's empty with a tripod camera, with many houses nearby in a neighborhood. So much is done in a devil number 9. And they have 9 zones in a valley. They zone by zip code, and they call it their kids porn zones, zoned by zip codes. And so they are the devils under everybody's noses whisking people away by medical kidnaps in their nurse uniform costumes with stethoscopes and clipboards with lies on forms, pretending they're taking children to protect them. They are taking them to murder them. And they have 9 fake caseworkers in many CPS DCFS offices, as they do much in a devil number 9. So again, there are 9 men that are relatives, brothers, cousins, uncles, who have the 9 houses around the main parks with traffic victims under the lawns and houses. Okay? The 6'8" man is a kiddie porn director. They have 9 women, fake caseworkers, who are child molester murderers, who pretend they take children to protect them when they are the ones that are child endangering, molesting, murdering, and raping children. And so it is by a number 9. They do much in a 9. And that's what God and Jesus explain. And it is so dangerous as they are under everybody's noses. And God and Jesus say there are also big obese women in men's lab coats. They pretend they are Department of Health and Welfare caseworkers when they are not. They have orange and white pod storage unit offices where they pretend they are caseworkers. They are child molesters. They are serial killers. They are big fat women who are molesting children in kiddie porn movies. They wear men's-sized lab coats that are dyed a light tan for the light kiddie porn movie lighting. So it is so outrageous, and people should be searching all the apartments for a tripod camera in the empty living rooms to see where they do kiddie porn and snuff movies. They also book many hotel motel rooms in California, LA County and surrounding areas, San Fernando Valley, San Bernardino County, Ventura County, Canyon Country by Magic Mountain, and that's Santa Clarita. They are doing this mass murdering in, you would think, 9 valleys, since they're the devil number 9, San Fernando Valley and the valleys around it, all the way to Santa Barbara, God says, and to Pacific Palisades, no. And they are in 9 states in America under everybody's noses. In the South, they are in brand new vehicles, and readings say those child molester women are in their mid to late 20s. They are tall, and they are heavier set with dark, curly, wavy hair. Readings says they flew to North Carolina from Thousand Oaks, and they are ones in North Carolina with male medics, and they would wear cowboy boots and Gap conservative navy blue clothing, as they are trained to dress conservative. And so people think they are doing community charity work. So people think these child molester women, meth, heroin, peppermint schnapps, drunk driver, clitoral cutters in new cars, 90 in packs all over, in groups. So they think they are doing community charity work. And that's how they act, readings say. God and Jesus say this is run by the Antichrist. So people need to wake up and smell the coffee and search them anyway, regardless of what you think, is they need to search their vehicles. They have 10 vehicles right now. They are what they call brand spanking new vehicles. Brown sedans. They are navy blue Dodge vehicles. They get a lot of Toyotas and Dodges. and they get new vehicles every week. And they sit in them in nurse uniform costumes, drinking peppermint schnapps, alcohol on meth and heroin, with razor blade, female genital mutilation tools, and bungee cords from Big Five in their trunks. As they are told, take these batches of people to your city hall, computer technician, local work, apartment buildings, and they are sent a list on an electronic work pad on their cells and iPads, and the list will say, these 5 are for dead corpse trafficking. These 6 sons go in Great Dane dog cage kennels for kitty porn movies. They'll be placed under our houses we bought in a neighborhood near their City Hall computer technician apartment building neighborhoods, and near their gyno chair, child pelvic stand, sex torture medical exam rooms with cribs and playpens. And the list will say, these 5 moms and their daughters are for human traffic. Send them to the Ramada Inn, the Hyatt, the Radisson, to plop them on a hotel bed for all the men to do them. So they take 10-year-olds and say they apply makeup on them, dress them in a sparkly, shiny outfit they bought in advance, and human traffic 10-year-olds on hotel motel beds. Then they all watch them get raped to death by a spy cam on the hotel motel ceilings. Hard to fathom. It is a sex torture operation. The Antichrist is running, and it is under everybody's noses. So people need to be suspicious and say, what's their motive and intention? What is their ulterior motive? Why are they going out of their way to lie about these nice families? Why are packs of them going in school offices saying they have to remove children from their classrooms and take custody from their parents when their parents are very nice? Why? Because they molest them in their big medical van right in the school parking lot is why. Because they are child molesters. They will say and do anything to molest a child. They have spy cams in the school toilets and sit around in their vans in their nurse uniforms looking at children's private areas when they sit on a toilet at school. They have spy cams in the public park restroom toilets and mall toilets. And they also say they're the spy cam potty gals, covering for hygiene. No, they're not. They're child molester, sex addict, serial killers, covering to do peeping Tom on children's private areas when they sit on a toilet at school, to run in the office with papers, and to lie they have to take these children from their parents, and they have to take them in their medical van in the parking lot for a little old me exam by a nice relaxing shot to check their private area. Then they all molest them in the school parking lot in a van. And that's preschools, kindergarten, elementary, middle school, high school, college, and university daycares. And they sit around lurking to do medical kidnaps, to snatch all the people up, to sex torture them in their vans, in their vehicles, in their city hall local work apartments, in their houses in the nearby neighborhoods, in hotels, motels in California, lodges, cabins, and cheap neon motels in the southern states. It is a trick for human traffic, sex torture, to murder the victims. They do premeditated gang rape murder to every age person, as they are the very bad ones killing all the good ones. And people need to be suspicious. Why are all these women in nurse uniforms sitting around parking in a brand new car? What is the purpose of that? They need to be suspicious. They need to search their car to see alcohol they're drinking in it, to see they have no underwear or pubic hair, and to see they have kiddie porn movies right on their cell phones and the car dashboard. So they should be bugging their phones and their car dashboard. They would see them molesting babies and children in the movies right on their cell phones. And that would be proof enough, wouldn't it? Yes, it would. And then they should make them do a urine stick test to see meth, heroin, and alcohol levels in their urine. And they should search their mouth so they could see they are child molesters. And they could see blood-stained teeth and victim skin in their mouth of the people they murdered. And that's what they should be doing, somebody. They also have meth, heroin, speedball shots in their socks and bras and nurse scrub pockets. They have 100 colors of nurse uniforms. So they should have canine dogs sniffing them out for drugs. They should sniff out every CPS DCF office in the country. As anybody who says they're a government employee could be drug tested randomly. I believe that's the law. So why don't they sniff them all out by canine dogs for drugs? Sniff out all their offices. Sniff out all the vehicles with women in them with nurse uniforms. Bug their phones, see them molesting kids in kiddie porn. Do a urine test to see they're doing meth and heroin and driving drunk. Then they would not be allowed to go near a child at a park if they're on meth, heroin, and driving drunk, or walking in school offices, lying they need to take children for an exam. Just by being on meth, heroin, and DUI, drunk driving alcohol levels, they would not be able to take a child in their car or van in a parking lot. So that would be one way to get them stopped, is to prove they are on meth, heroin, and alcohol. And that's CPS, DCFS, secret court, caseworkers. And there are 9 at many real offices who pretend they're protecting children. So sniff them out for drugs. Do a urine test. Say you're not allowed near children. You can't go put a child in your car. You're on meth and heroin and driving drunk. And that would keep them away from everybody. And that would prove that these tips are accurate. So prove one tip is right. Then people should know all the tips are right.